Hello, everyone. My name is Rob Falvo. I'm a very proud graduate of the College of Liberal Arts class of 1987, and I am, Carol said, a member of the College Alumni Association Board of Directors. Today, I have the tremendous honor of awarding one of Drew's Alumni Achievement Awards to Bryon Backenson from the class of 1990. Obviously, this is not how we would have planned this ceremony, and I'm sorry that we can't be together in person. But we appreciate everyone joining this virtual environment to recognize and celebrate Bryon's achievements. To provide a bit of perspective on the Alumni Achievement Awards, these have been awarded to outstanding Drew graduates going back to 1956, when John Cunningham and Philip Burdett received the first Achievement in the Liberal Arts and Achievement in the Sciences Awards, respectively. The Alumni Association now presents 9 awards annually to outstanding Drew graduates. Bryon today joins the elite company of more than 200 award recipients among the 19,000 plus Drew CLA graduates. The Achievement in the Science Award recognizes alumni who, through exceptional and sustained success in the field of natural or qualitative sciences, outstanding character, and loyalty to Drew, have most personified the basic ideals of the university. With the emergence of COVID-19, epidemiology has become the national fascination. But in 1989, discussion of epidemiology was rare. Bryon Backenson, who at the time was a junior biology major, spent spring break visiting graduate ecology programs at several universities. But Professor Linda Van Blerkum's spring semester medical anthropology class introduced him to epidemiology, and at that point is when he was hooked. Bryon attended the School of Public Health at the University of Albany because of its partnership with the New York State Department of Health, which provided internships and experience in the practical as opposed to just the academic side of public health. And working on tracking the spread of Lyme disease and ticks in wildlife for the New York State Department of Health, he experienced vector-borne diseases and moved on to working on basic pathology of the bacteria that causes Lyme disease, and discovered an emerging relapsing fever pathogen in Spain, developing novel statewide surveillance systems to collect and test ticks for several pathogens and streamline the reporting of human cases of Lyme disease. Bryon authored the National Lyme Disease Surveillance Case Definition and sits on several panels that advise the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and U.S. Department of Health and Human Services on issues regarding tick and mosquito-borne diseases. In 2009, coinciding with the discovery of H1N1 pandemic influenza in New York, his role at the New York State Department of Health expanded to cover investigation of all communicable diseases and their outbreaks in the state. He coordinated efforts also to respond to H1N1, Ebola, Zika, vaping illnesses, and novel coronavirus. The part of epidemiology and public health that Bryon enjoys most is communication, the teaching and translating of data and principles. He often speaks with the media and gives numerous seminars. Bryon has been an assistant professor at the School of Public Health at the University of Albany since 2005, teaching infectious disease epidemiology. He lives in Clifton Park, New York with his wife, and his fantasy baseball league that started with classmates at Drew in 1988 and is still going strong in its 34th year. So congratulations on that also. Keep anything going for 34 years is not an easy task. So Bryon, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Rob. So again, I want to thank everybody at Drew. I want to thank the whoever it was that nominated me for this, and I'd also, I guess, like to tell a couple of little stories. On January 16th of this year, I was at a meeting at JFK Airport representing the State Health Department in discussions about monitoring travelers for disease. It's something that we did with Ebola. With Ebola, I think I knew every single New Yorker who had come through JFK and had recently been from Liberia or Guinea or the other countries in Africa where this was taking place. We were already starting to follow an emerging coronavirus causing pneumonia in China, and we were just starting to talk about contingencies in case it got to the United States. The following week, I was on my way to New Haven to take part in the annual meeting of our Northeast Regional Center for Vector-Borne Diseases. Like Rob said, diseases carried by bugs like ticks and mosquitoes, diseases like Lyme disease and West Nile virus. When I got the call from the alumni office about this particular award, I actually asked them if it was a joke. That night at a Red Roof Inn in North Haven was when the calls started to come from emergency rooms to my cell phone about travelers from China currently at their hospitals and asking how they should be handling it. The first of many sleepless nights for me and my colleagues about COVID. So while this award was voted on well before COVID became a household word, I think it's kind of fitting that the university is recognizing public health this year. Like Rob said, I was a second semester junior trying to figure out what to do next in my life. I was on spring break with my roommate, Mark McKinney. We were having a fun time driving all around the South, visiting Duke, North Carolina, and Florida State, trying to figure out exactly what I should be doing next, and meeting with people to talk about entomology and talk about ecology and so forth. But I was taking that class with Linda Van Blerkum in medical anthropology. I think it was her first year at the school. And I came back and hadn't really settled myself yet. We had figured out I learned about epidemiology in that particular class within a couple of weeks after returning, and it really did sort of change my life. At that point in time, I started looking around. I realized this is really what I wanted to do. It was population biology, but I still got to do that biology part of things. And after grad school, I kind of weaved through various aspects of epidemiology and public health over the course of my life, usually centering around vector-borne and other infectious diseases. The speed of them is something that I like. And it's been remarkably satisfying to still stay grounded in biology and ecology while being able to, at least I hope, make a difference in the world. I'm still sort of that kid that was turning over rocks and looking for things underneath them at heart. And being able to work on tick-borne disease, being able to work on mosquito-borne disease, and now being able to work on a whole bunch of other different diseases really still is it's been incredibly satisfying. My time at Drew has been a great big part of my life ever since I arrived on campus in 1986. I can't thank Drew enough for what it's been given to me from the various classes with professors like Lee Pollock and Jim Nagel and Harold Roars, to the stimulating and sort of life-shaping conversations I have with faculty and friends during my time on campus and in the 30 years since. One of the things I think that we're going to lose in some ways if we do so much virtual teaching is that ability to be on campus, be talking to one another, being able to learn from one another kind of outside the classroom. And that's one of the things I cherish about my time at Drew. One of my current closest coworkers is a Drew grad. I try and teach the students and interns that I have the value of critical thinking and trying to see all sides of an issue, and being able to express yourself in a clear way, both verbally and in writing, all of which are things that were emphasized to me at Drew. The friends I've made at Drew are lifelong. I've got classmates that are now colleagues, some of which are here now. I stay in touch with our campus minister, Joe Farias, who married my wife and I at Seminary Hall. And as Rob said, the core of people that are part of this silly fantasy baseball thing are friends that I've had for 34 years and hopefully will have for another 34. I should finish these couple of remarks by talking about public health, though. I'm very proud to represent the field that I'm being nominated in for this award this year. Public health is a vitally important field that oftentimes can't seem to catch a break. You're damned if you do too much, and you're damned if you do too little. We're having a lot of that talk in the news right now. There's a lot of health commissioners at the state and local level who are getting threats from people and being harassed and so forth, when we were really trying to protect and save lives and prevent more spread of disease. Public health professionals, people at WHO, people at CDC, people at state health departments like myself, and people at county and city health departments, they selflessly put themselves on the line every day to try and prevent disease. We might not get it right every single time, but the majority of the times I think we do. I think the world's a better place for it. So again, I'm happy to represent public health as we talk about this today. I'm very happy to have been nominated for this award. I thank everybody at Drew, and Drew's a part of my heart and always will. Thanks.